Hello, everyone. This is Dana Talvik, and today, from Spherus Magna, we have Strakk, um, aka my oldest brother's my oldest brother's bionicle mock. Um, my neighbors are being loud. Sorry about that. Uh, but it is based most heavily on my older brother's Bionicle Mock that I kept built for forever and never rebuilt. But eventually, I was just really bored one day and really wanted to make another build in my Glatorian size scale. So I decided, screw it, I'm gonna rebuild this. I don't really care if my older brother gets upset at me for this because um, ultimately I was the one who was allowed to keep all the Bionicle stuff when we all moved our separate ways and got our own lives. So since I have the parts, I decided to rebuild it in my size scale. I tried to keep as much as possible from the original build that my brother did. I don't think I have a picture of the original build anymore. Um, but like I kept his axe the exact same. I kept the idea of the way the shoulders were built similar. I kept the asymmetrical armor of having one silver, one white piece, the silver chest piece, the silver armor. I I tried to keep it as close as possible. The dangling crystal piece, there's a gemstone on his torso armor, and there's even one behind these plates, and I decided that's essentially, even though Glatorian aren't biomechanical, since this is my brother's mock, I decided, sure, it's asymmetrical because he's a cyborg or something. I don't really know if my older brother was as in depth with Bionicle lore as me and my middle brother were, but yeah, so he's essentially my Glatorian build, except he has a long neck to recreate Strax's original long neck, and his shoulders his shoulders and forearms are custom, although they're pretty similar to Matanui's shoulders from my Matanui build, which I kept Matanui the same, but I did rebuild my Great Spirit robot to remove the Matanui function and downsize it because I wanted to use all those really cool parts that I used in that. So for weapons, he's got a Thornax launcher. These aren't weapons, these are just armor parts. He's got Strax's original axe piece plus this little blue water effect piece. And then I also halved his shield. His original shield was just Matanui's shield, but then with the gold Bionicle Stars shield on it. So I just halved it and then filled the extra half with some random weapon parts and Lego bits. So I don't feel like taking him out of this pose because it took him forever to get a dynamic pose where he stood, even though he has massive feet and friction adders. So I'll just go over the articulation by pointing at it, which I've done in other videos. So he's got ball joint hips, hinge joint knees, ball joint ankles, ball joint at the base of the shoulder, ball joint at the edge of the shoulder, ball joint at the elbow, ball joint wrists, ball joint at the base of the neck, and ball joint at the head. So he's fairly articulated. I would take off his shield to like show it off, but once again, took me forever to get a pose I was happy with, just because of his shaping. I wanted to make him hunched over enough so that he's like the original Strax, but still keep the straight up and down torso, as that was the main modification my brother did to his original Strax set, was he got rid of Strax's hunch. So I wanted a pose that could make him look hunched over like Strax, but still have the straight up and down torso, like the whole point of my brother's original modifications to the set were. So that about does it for Strax, and probably about does it for Spherus Magna for quite a while. Slash Bara Magna, but that about does it for that. You probably won't see a Glatorian build for quite a while in the series, as I've used up all of the specific parts that I used to make my Glatorian builds.